Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Today, our guest is Brian. Brian, let us know who you are and where you live.
Thank you, first of all, for having me on the podcast today. I appreciate your time and consideration. And yeah, my name is Brian Polla, kind of a serial entrepreneur. Dabbled in several different businesses. Yeah, they've been some crazy adventures along the way. Currently, I'm the CEO of Amino Balls. It's a vegan snack line that we've created. Got a gluten-free line as well as a nut-free line. Very, very healthy product, great macros, and yeah, we've spent 2.5 years on R&D and launched it about a year ago, and seen some really great traction in year one. So yeah, it's an exciting ride.
Yeah, that's exciting. So let us know about all of your businesses that you are doing currently. If you are just doing one, then this is good. Otherwise, you can share the others as well. So also, please let us know what these businesses are, what you are doing in it, what's your role in it.
Absolutely. So started off working in the family business at the age of 10, manufacturing company. It's powder coating was what we were doing. So that is the finishing of metal. It's a powder paint that gets wrapped around with an electronic charge, onto the steel, goes into a cure oven, and comes out as a finished goods. They use it a lot for store fixtures, displays, that kind of stuff. So that's really where I started and kind of learned and grew up in the family business. Stayed in that until I was around 29, and unfortunately, family businesses, you can love your family, but it doesn't mean you love working together. So we kind of went separate ways. I had to leave the family shop for a variety of reasons, and wasn't really planning on getting into the same type of business, but everything just kind of fell into place. And I had a couple of partners along for the ride, and we just had our 50th anniversary for that company. So it's still going strong, although it's not my main focus at this point. But I am still involved a little bit in the day-to-day operations. Got involved in cannabis as well, which was an interesting ride. I think almost everybody tried to at least dabble their finger in it or pinky toe a little bit. So I ended up raising, several $1 millions, bought a massive greenhouse, and started outfitting it. Took the company public. Had to really jump through a lot of hoops with Health Canada as we were doing our RTO, our reverse takeover of the public shell. Health Canada changed what they were willing to accept in terms of applications, and they basically told us your build has to be completely finished before we'll take your application. So for us, we had $2-3 million in trust that we weren't able to access until we completed the RTO, and we couldn't complete the RTO because of the Health Canada change. So what we did, because we had the facility, which was an active farm, we did a quick pivot, applied for a hemp license, redid our business plan, and then went public as a hemp company. And then, we're still able to do the cannabis outfitting. Unfortunately, this was about a 9-month delay for us. And we kind of came out of that into the cannabis crash. So really had to move quickly and, find a new direction. So I acquired a company called Fusion Muscle. It's a supplement company. It was a 22-year-old Canadian brand. So we brought that in under the umbrella, and started working on building that. And then there's another acquisition that I did of a company called Plant Fuel, which was founded by Brad Pyatt. He was the founder of Muscle Farm, which he grew to $220 million in annual sales. So I was in good company. We had some funds coming in, but then we ran into COVID. So the supplement business was not thriving while the gyms were closed. So I kind of saw the Canadian business shrinking quite a bit. And Brad being he's an American and was really looking to drive plant fuel in the U.S. So at that point, I stepped down, turned the reins over to him as CEO, and kind of let him run with it in the U.S. And I went back to working on amino balls. I felt like he was more than capable of taking them. Obviously, more experience than me, has grown a much bigger company. And yeah, so that was in 2021, and we spent 2.5 years doing R&D to get our product point where we were happy with it and ready to launch it. And that was painful. I'm a fast mover. I like to move really quick, and there's pros and cons to that. And the pros are you're always moving. You don't miss opportunities. You're going, you're going, you're going. The cons, man, when you look back in hindsight, when you're moving too quick and not stopping to really, make sure everything is aligned, it can bite you a little bit. So the 2.5 years of R&D, it was painful for me. I wanted to be at market. I wanted to go. But that wasn't the path for us. It was most important that we launched the best possible product that we could, and we feel that's what we did. So
So here I have, sorry to cut you, but here I have a random question right now in my mind. Like, how did you when you were launching this product, how did you recognize the gap in the market that you're going to fill?
Well, I mean, I realized the gap in the market really just through my ability to snack really well and try everything out there. And, it really, I didn't find that there was something that really satisfied what I wanted. Let me give you a little more background on how the product was actually created, because it's not my creation. Beata Antoninas is the founder, and she was competing internationally in figure. Very successful. Did the Arnold's twice. Unfortunately, it's such a restrictive diet and lifestyle. When she came off of her shows, she would just be craving sugar nonstop, and she developed an eating disorder because of it. So what she did to try and combat that eating disorder, she was basically just trying to whip something up in the kitchen that was, really clean, healthy ingredients, but had some good protein, some fiber, a low glycemic index, so you're not getting an insulin spike. The insulin spikes, they leave you hungry in an hour. After you have a whole bunch of sugar, your body throws out a whole bunch of insulin. It stores it all, and then your system's empty again. So we wanted a product, that doesn't do that, but that also she wanted it to taste like dessert, and that's really what she created, a healthy snack that tastes like dessert, and yeah, that's kind of. And then I kind of became involved. She's actually my fiance, so she moved in, and she started by giving these to clients to try. She's a trainer at a high-end fitness facility, and then they started, hey, can you make some for a birthday? I want some for Christmas. And so she moves in, and every Sunday we're trying to roll 2,000 of these balls out in the kitchen, and I'm like, okay, we got to do something else with this. I'm like, this is not my Sunday fun day, manning the blender and mixing. So yeah, that's when we started exploring launching it. It was my first time with food product, which was a very interesting journey. And like every journey, when you look back, there's the people that came in that really helped you extensively. And then there's the people that came in, took your money and did nothing for you. And, and unfortunately, in any business, that's a little bit part of the journey. And if you're ever to go back and do it again, obviously, there's things you wouldn't do, and, ways to save money, ways to be more efficient. But, between launching this and the cannabis company, I feel like I learned a lifetime, in the last 6 years, which is a blessing, and it just helps you get better for the next thing.
So this is amino balls you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. So, okay. So, what were the challenges? Because as you said, you are a fast-moving person. So, for a fast-moving entrepreneurs, there are always problem cons. Yes, but the fast-moving entrepreneur must be going to face many challenges as well. So, what are the challenges you are facing? If you are not facing any challenge, then what was the biggest challenge that you have faced?
I mean, certainly as we were trying to develop this was right in the middle of COVID. So supply chain was a big. So as a startup trying to contact packaging companies, they couldn't get in material for companies they've dealt with for 10, 20, 30 years. They weren't interested in talking to startups. So, I really had to work hard to develop relationships, connections, and get people to believe in what we were doing and who we were to even consider giving us quotations at the time. And I'm bringing in 20 years of business experience, and that is really what helped me, work with these people and develop a relationship where they're like, okay, you got something here. So finding our co-packer was a big challenge because the product's so unique. It's not something that any company can make. And just learning about what consultants actually, have benefit and help you move forward. And then, the ones that are, like I said, just kind of sign the contract. They're kind of along for the ride. They milk out the contract, and then they're off to the next one, and you're unfortunately haven't moved any further. So I would say, just developing the network to get the product to launch was the biggest challenge, to date. And then you launch, and it's all new challenges. So throughout this journey, the challenges don't stop; they just change. And as you kind of conquer one, that prepares you to do that again and easier, and gets you ready to move on to the next one.
Completely makes sense. Completely makes sense. So, what is your process of onboarding the customers? Like, for an entrepreneur, this is the biggest pain, that how we can acquire the new customers. So, what's your process? How you do this?
Absolutely. So what we did, we invested heavily in trade shows. So we
Okay.
did a soft launch in January, kind of to friends and family. We added our second SKU in March. So
Okay.
kind of March as our real launch. That was our gluten-free line. We added the nut-free line in August. But yeah, what we did 14 trade shows last year and countless demos. We did the Terry Fox run, like, we were at Maryland. We were anywhere we could be giving out the product. So we took a guerrilla marketing. I broke things down, and did some research and looking at the cost of customer acquisition on Facebook or Instagram, Google, what you pay for a customer and what the payback is over time. And what I really decided was our product was good enough that the best thing I could do is just put that in people's hands to try. And that's how I could win people and just be out, talking to them, educating them on some of the health benefits it provides. And ultimately it's winning via taste and texture. Like it tastes delicious. And I knew we had something, and that was just what I wanted to do was just get as many people to try it as we could. So that's kind of how we blew our marketing budget. So we did different types of trade shows. We did the Toronto Marathon, CanFit Pro. Then we did some industry trade shows, to help us develop our retail connections, and worked on getting a good broker aligned and some distribution. Those were challenging things as well. For a startup, again, a lot of people don't even want to talk to you, but through getting some meetings and leveraging my network, we're able to kind of get some conversations going and kind of win over some very key players in the industry to help. But I think as a startup, if you believe in your product, get it in people's hands. I think that's the best way to really drive it forward, because we are bombarded with ads on everything you could think of. You know what I mean? You can't scroll any social media without being pounded with ads. And you're going to see a variety of ads for protein bars, protein snacks, this, that, everything, right? And just seeing it doesn't do it. But if you've actually tried that and it's awesome and it's healthy, I think people are more likely to go to that again.
All right. So how we can say, okay, this is the segmented audience for amino balls, that this is the segmented audience that we are going to target.
So we started off, kind of looking towards, the yoga mom demographic.
Okay.
Women aged, 28 to 45 was kind of who we thought was really going to like this. It's got 8 grams of protein, 5 grams of fiber, and only 5 grams of sugar, with no artificial sweetening.
All right.
The only sweetening with dates. and then one SKU has got a touch of maple syrup. So we thought it was really a great snack for that demographic because it's not too heavy in protein. It's not something that bodybuilders are going to be drawn to because it's vegan. You can't really get your protein count up as high without the whey protein. So if you want it to be vegan, you're going to have a lower protein count than someone that's able to add whey to their product. But through the trade shows and the demos, we kind of realized that everybody was enjoying this. You know, the nut-free version. I really wanted to develop something that kids could take to school that was a healthy snack for them. I grew up as an obese child, so you know I grew up on Kentucky Fried Chicken and potato chips. You know, and but wanting to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I gotta tell you, it doesn't mix, you know, it doesn't mix. So to have something, you know, and what we have really seen is kids have really taken to this product and are really enjoying it. So, you know, for me personally, to have something healthy that kids can take to school that, you know, battles obesity versus creating it, many of the products out there, you know, that was really driving forward.
All right. So yeah, this is something I was thinking about. Like this product could be very good for the kids as well, because whenever we are giving something to the kids to take school, like all these items are mostly fried items, or they have a lot of sugar, or like they may have a lot of oil, sort of like these things. So I believe this will be a good alternate for the kids who are going to school. So yeah. That's great. So, what are your plans for growth or expansion in near future, like in maybe next 3 to 6 months?
So in the next 3 months, we've got several Canadian retailers onboarding us. Right now, we're in about 300 locations. In the next 3 months, we should be in close to 900. And by the fall, I mean, it's a hard number to pick at and guess, you know. So we've got a lot of really great conversations going on with some really big retailers. It doesn't mean that it's going to be a fit and going to happen, but I can see by the end of year two, us being in 4 to 5 thousand.
All right, and this is accessible for everybody who have a website as well. Like people can buy it from online. So how soon you deliver these products if someone is ordering online?
Currently, we're only shipping in Canada.
Okay.
We ship next day and right off our website. We are looking to set up some 3PL in the US, but you know we're a small team, just kind of you know trying not to get ahead of ourselves. So,
Yeah, completely makes sense. Completely makes sense. And when you are running multiple businesses, then obviously you have to focus with a lot of care. So
yeah,
completely makes sense.
and you know and cash flow too. You know to try and jump into the US before we're ready, it can very easily collapse. So, you know, I want to be strategic with that. I want to build out, you know, sales of 4 to 5 million in Canada, and then likely do a big raise with an investment bank, bring in some good funds, and then take the product. You know, make sure we have a good, strong, proven track record here. You know, our focus is, you know, making sure we're profitable. Like, there's so many CPG companies
Yeah.
that I've seen, and all they do is run up debt, and that's not we want to do. Our investors, we take care of them, and then we take them down.
Okay. Okay. So do you think do you do have competitors? Right now you are in Canada, like you are maybe giving this just in Canada. So do you have competitors in Canada?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I would say the industry leader. So we're refrigerated.
Mm-hmm.
So the refrigerated kind of healthy protein snack category, it's a relatively new one that's really just starting to develop. Certainly, Midday Squares paved the way in this category. And you know, Perfect Bar is one that they're right across the U.S.
Okay.
They're probably the two anchors of the category right now. You know, I wouldn't say they're competitors. They're running the category. You know what I mean? Like we're just trying to scratch the surface. And but I'm grateful to have them because those two businesses paved the way for this category. You
Yeah.
know, and to be one of the companies that actually paves the way and creates a new category that others like myself can kind of follow in. You know, like I've got nothing but gratitude for them, and they've made my life easier. Put it that way.
Yeah, yeah, obviously. And they are really good in spreading the awareness. So completely makes sense. So I believe there must be something other than, I'm not sure if the quantity of protein and sugar is your distinct thing that differentiates you from the other business. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sorry, need to catch up. We're lower in sugar than almost all of the other brands out there. And that was something we were insistent on. You know, we originally started with erythritol in our formula, which is an artificial sweetener. You know, it was deemed, here's a challenge for you. So erythritol was deemed healthy. It was great. 3 weeks after we launched, a study came out saying it causes strokes and heart attacks. So we had to do an immediate pivot, back to R&D with our co-packer. We're like, okay, we need this out of our product, and whether it does or it doesn't, that'll be determined over time. But if the stigma is there that it's an unhealthy ingredient in a product we tried to make as perfect as we could, it's got to go. So, we kind of reformulated, scrapped our packaging, and let us to have a better product. So,
All right. So what is the shelf life of this product?
it's 12 months from manufacturing date. So
That's good.
so it's a refrigerated product, but it's good on the go for up to 5 days. So it's not something that turns or spoiled or it won't go bad on you. But as a refrigerated product, it tastes the best. It tastes fresh. It will start to dry out over time if left out of the fridge. But 5 days is to throw in your first gym bag, whatever. It's still tastes pretty good.
All right. So, Brian, what would be your biggest piece of advice for the ones who are watching this podcast?
Biggest piece of advice: really think and plan before you start. Come up with a good plan and find somebody that's experienced and ask them to rip your plan to pieces. And find everything that can go wrong with it or what they think, is a mistake, and take that advice and go back and run it through again. And really, because hard work's important, the finances are important, but thinking through your plan and avoiding mistakes, every mistake costs you money and costs you time, and that's, two of the most critical things being successful in business,
Yeah,
money.
makes sense. Completely makes sense. So, would you let people know how they can reach you, and also if you can share the all the businesses websites as well here right
Yeah,
now?
absolutely. I'm easy to find on LinkedIn, Brian Polla, Polla. You can reach me at Brian@aminosnacks.com if you want to send me an email at all. And the manufacturing business, it's called NX Coatings. But yeah, LinkedIn or email is the best way to get a hold of me, and love to hear from you all.
All right. All right. Thanks, Brian. It was really nice talking to you, and I learned a lot of things. And the advice was beautiful advice, I believe. It was a bit tough, but it's beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you. No, it's yeah. No, thank you so much for having me on today. I really
So nice of you for joining today. Have a good day. Bye bye.
thank you. Bye.